both the cities of Eugene and Corvallis. But the number of barbs and shots thrown back and forth between these two institutions could fill a distance triple that size. What a matchup we have for you in the battle for the state of Oregon. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the Oregon Ducks, the House of Loud, Autzen Stadium in Eugene. As we'll see a team from the Pac-12, the Oregon State Beavers, taking on the fourth-ranked team in the land, the Oregon Ducks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. The Ducks will get us underway with the opening kickoff. He'll bring it out. It's Card. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Oregon State's offense will go on the attack first. Early in the season, the Ducks looked vulnerable against teams from the state of Idaho, but nothing makes you feel better than taking little brother behind the woodshed in a get-right game when you had to feel a little bit better about life.
Yeah, and it was really a coming-out party, too, for Dylan Gabriel, the transfer coming in from Oklahoma. He threw the ball. He ran the ball. Oregon was up and down the field offensively. And we've seen this game in years past get a bit crazy and wonky at times. Last year, David, no doubt who the better team was.
Yeah, especially when Oregon has to go to Corvallis. Typically, you'll see some struggle, but that wasn't it. And it was a beatdown. And you got to imagine they remember this pretty well. They're pretty ticked off about, listen, Oregon gets all the shine, obviously. Oregon State is little brother. That they've got something to prove for sure.
I'll tell you what, you want to quiet this crowd down. You want to do something demoralizing to your opponent. Establish the run game early on offense.
They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. Looking downfield, it's Murphy. It's complete to the right. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game.
Caught in the backfield. It's Walker. Breaks into the open. Shoved out of bounds after a big gain. They'll mark it at the plus 42.
I'll tell you, this guy has to get touches early in games. They're doing a good job of that right now. He's so dangerous once he has the ball in his hands. And I think if you're on offense, you move him around and you find more creative ways to get him involved.
And the Beavers are flying down the field. He'll keep it himself. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit. It seems as if this old feud has been going on since Lewis and Clark set the foundation for the Oregon Trail. They've been playing since 1894, guys.
Game's been played for a long time, a lot on the line in the state of Oregon. Bragging rights, Jesse, for a whole year.
I feel like it's one of the rivalries in college football that maybe a lot of people don't talk about or really know about. But if you've ever been around this game and you know about the tradition and the history and the emotions surrounding this game, this is easily one of the best rivalries in college football.
The Beavers have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Zings it complete to the right. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
And listen, you get zone coverage and you can hit that curl route and he comes open continually. Keep hitting it. This might be a play to come back to.
The Beavers didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have moved methodically down the field. Give to the running back. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. They thought maybe they could get the defense flowing the wrong way on the counter, but they were not fooled.
Get them flowing one way and then maybe hit that outside on the other side, right? But they didn't even let it get outside. They kept it right in the middle of the field, did a great job seeing it, going and getting it, being aggressive. You got to find a different way maybe to attack these guys to use their speed against them.
He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Going for 6. Touchdown, Oregon State. Grabbed in the end zone to put 6 on the board.
Man, it doesn't get any better than that. You script the first 10 plays, that was 10 plays. That was perfection. That was a touchdown. That's called good scouting, being ready for the football game, and executing to a T to start this game off.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They go 83 yards on the drive, and the score comes on a 12-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. On the move from inside his 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So the Oregon Ducks offense will have its first possession of the game. And the heart of this team clearly rests on the offensive line, a group of maulers, David, who take pride in what they do.
Man, I think if you're a coach, you take pride. Like, it starts up front. Like,
They get enough rush, and it pays off the sack at the 20.
And protecting their quarterback is job number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as you want to put it up. They got to make sure they take care of him so he can make those plays. Defense wins this rep. They win up front, get to the quarterback, and get the sack.
The Ducks now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Hand off from the shotgun. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Goodness, that happened fast. He was in the backfield before the ball was even snapped.
Oh, man, adrenaline pumping, heart beating a little faster. There is some intensity on that one. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Makes the catch. It's Hughes. What a play by this defense, and they stop him short. It'll be 4th down.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
He'll be content with the field position, making the fair catch right around the 30-yard line. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. Calls his own number. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead.
Man, the evolution of the quarterback position. Basically, you should call them running backs who throw the ball really well now.
And guys, you know the other thing that happens here is that sets up the next play because you've sort of left the defensive line gassed trying to run down the quarterback.
Oh, you got to be in shape, chasing it around all day on design runs, on scrambles, and you know, it's just, and the +1 advantage you get by having that guy. It's so hard to defend. And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
How can a stadium this size make so much noise? You can't hear yourself think on 3rd down here in Austin. Oh, they're after him. And the Beavers will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
They get him at the 42, but he picked up 10 there. Oregon was dominant last season until the Ducks ran into that Ohio State juggernaut in the Rose Bowl, and that left Oregon still in search of its long-awaited first national title.
Well, Dan Lanning has built this thing into a national championship contender. He's done it in the trenches, but I'm curious to see what they do at quarterback and how that position plays.
Turning it on! He makes the stop at the 48. That'll be enough for a first down and a pickup of 10. That is a time-honored way to slow down the rush, hit him with the screen, and a chunk play.
Yeah, such a great job because you're flying up the field to get to the quarterback because everything looks like pass down the field. Let those guys get up the field, throw it right behind him. He does a little bit of the rest, making some moves, getting upfield, making the big play.
I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete. What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Moore to the air. Quickly to the tight end. That had all the makings of bug meat windshield, but how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the first? And the Ducks are at the line looking to convert on third and short. Looking to throw for it. Grabbed over the middle. It's Bryant. Really nice job to convert that third down, and they've got it at the 33. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
And they'll bring him down after a short pickup.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
Just a short pass to the tight end. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And what a job by the defense, seeing the quarterback throw the football, break on the football, no space allowed. As soon as he catches it, defender meet ball carrier and gets him on the ground.
It'll be third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The throw to the outside is complete. He's got enough. It'll be a first down. They've got it up to 12.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that.
Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. That's the end of the period, and Oregon State has the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. Moore will throw. Fires into the end zone. Into the house. Touchdown, Ducks! The extra point here would tie the game. And the point after is good. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they cap things off with a 9-yard touchdown pass. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. There he goes. He'll be stopped at the 27, but picks up 10 on that one.
And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back, understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the 1st down, don't mess around. Nice job following his hole, getting positive yards.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 27. Might as well give it to him again. Get him on the ground after a 4-yard run out to the 31.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Running back searching for a hole. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
The power of Autzen Stadium on full display. The house of loud is deafening on this 3rd down. To the air, it's Murphy. Working that left side now. Love to see these 3rd down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Wants to throw on 1st down. Quickly out to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
A nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
One thing this defense always talks about is getting off the field. Last drive, they forced the punt. Here on 3rd down, what a great job flying to the football, getting a hit, forcing an incompletion. They may be jogging off here soon again.
Punt is on its way. And the punt will hit at the 7, and they can't corral it. It goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Man, oh man, that ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have any.
Caught in the backfield, it's Moore. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
Great play by the cornerback. He was just way too physical at the point of attack. He beat his man trying to block him, and he tackled that receiver on the screen.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Moore to the air. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
The Ducks decide to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He will signal for the fair catch and take it just inside the 35. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Finds his man. It's Clemens. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the 1st.
I think really good wide receivers do a good job of making every route kind of look the same. You could tell this looked like a vertical route. So if I'm a DB, I'm bailing, and all of a sudden he sits that hitch down. Nice job by the wide receiver, creating enough separation to create a positive gain.
Rush is on him. He's going for a big play downfield. It's caught, and what a job to get the foot down and make it a huge gain along the sideline.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. What a dynamic play on that last one. Flips the field, and they've got it 1st and 10 from the 28. Looking to throw on 1st down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
This defense has a lot of speed, especially in the secondary. You saw that speed. That defender got to that receiver so quick, and because of the hit, incomplete pass.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Wants to throw. It's Murphy. Unloads to the wideout. Hauls it in. And the defense was right there to make the tackle, but not before they get it to the 12 and set up in the red zone. The Beavers are rolling down the field. Going to look downfield again. Pocket breaking down. Shakes off the defender. A really nice run and gain, and he gets down to avoid taking punishment.
And this QB, man, how about it? It's a pass play. He's dropping back to pass. He realizes it's man-to-man, and as they start to chase their guys down the field, well, nobody's got me, and I can just take off, and I've got speed. He chews up ground so easy, so frustrating for a defense to...
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Beavers!
And what a push up front by this offensive line. Everyone playing in unison, driving out of their stance, working into the 2nd level, hats on hats, creating a lane for that running back.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And it was closed out by the short yardage touchdown. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the run from inside his own 5. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. Strong run to get it out to the 21-yard line. They pick up a 6.
Well, I know he was struggling to get going early in this game. That right there, though, was easily his best run so far. And this is one of the more talented running backs you're going to see in the entire nation. They need more runs like that to get this offense going if they're going to win this game.
They'll go right back to it. Brought down at the 31 after a pickup of 10 yards on that one.
All right, defense, that's what we can't do. We can't give up this many chunk yards on the ground. Got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to get those running backs on the ground. That's way too easy.
It's 1st and 10 from the 31. He'll try the left side.
I love the effort by that defender on that play. He knew the ball was coming to the outside. He was being blocked. He was able to shed it quickly and then use his speed to force that ball carrier out of bounds for a loss.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, the running back has it. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Really nice job by the defense that time, getting a stop. They've been really good so far in this one, shutting this guy down, not letting him break out. You've got the lead. It's tight, though. And you know the opponent is going to keep trying to run it. So can you keep this up here in the second half on defense? That's the question.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
They punted away on 4th down. He'll take it on the return. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the yoke. They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and that can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play-action attempt.
The Beavers have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. That's the last thing you want as an offense, a negative play, a sack on 1st down. Looking to throw, it's Murphy. Fires to the big fella. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? 2nd down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this 3rd down manageable. Really nice job of executing.
How can a stadium this size makes pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half.
And that's an interesting call going play action on 3rd and long because the defense is not worried about you handing the football off. That's not freezing anybody, especially these defensive ends. They're going right up the field, and you saw that time the pocket collapse as they were able to get to the quarterback.
They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. Snap in the middle, it's Casper. And they finally get him down, but not before. He's got him set up for business at the 49-yard line.
Well, they execute the in route. How about the arm strength by the QB? That was an absolute bullet on that completion.
It'll be a 1st down from the 49-yard line. Looking downfield on 1st down. Unloads it downfield. He's got it at the 15. He's there to make the stop, but not before. He sets up this offense 1st and goal from the 7.
Well, this quarterback has found a really nice rhythm here on this drive. He just looks dialed in. He's doing a great job in the pre-snap, seeing the safety rotation, and that time saw the one-on-one matchup to take a shot, and he hit it. He's in a really, really nice groove right now.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to blow up, try to force the field goal. Nice job on first down and goal, getting them tackled to the ground.
They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. Moore will throw. Trying to barrel in. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. They keep nudging it closer, but now it's 3rd and goal from the 1. Trying to pound their way in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Oregon!
Nice job putting the drive together. Nice job punctuating the end of the first half. There's still some time left, Palmer, but they can tie this thing up right now.
Yeah, and this is a staff that has so much confidence in their offense. I like staying aggressive right here, going for 2, taking the lead into halftime, and putting a ton of pressure on the opponent.
Extra point here will tie the game. And he tacks on the extra point. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. To the air on first down. Finds his tight end.
I tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Picked up some yardage with that completion, now 2nd down. Dropping back, it's Murphy. He's got him. He'll get a fresh set of downs, stopped at the 31-yard line. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. Just enough time for one final play of the half. Looking to throw on first down. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, some real edge-of-your-seat moments, and there's still 2 quarters to go here between the Ducks and Beavers. And it's been a hard-fought battle today. 2 teams out there playing ball and treating this crowd to a memorable first half. Seems to me, and I know I'm going to sound like a coach here, the team that limits turnovers and strings together productive drives is going to be the one celebrating a well-earned victory today. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the fight between Oregon and Oregon State plays out.
And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
And I understand what the offense is trying to do. Use the wide side of the field, right? Use all that space, pitch on the outside, get on the edge. But the defense was too disciplined. Great job setting the edge, not letting him get outside, making the big tackle.
The Ducks really need to keep this drive alive on third down. Throws for the tight end. And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
Defense did a great job. Third and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
And the Ducks will send out the punt unit.
On to punt it away.
No chance for a return. He makes the fair catch at the 26, and that's where they'll go to work. Oregon State takes over, ready to send the offense onto the field. Holder finds his man on the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Offenses want to get the ball to their playmakers really fast, and they try to throw the wide receiver screen, but how about the defender? He was right there in his space, got him on the ground as soon as he caught it. He was ready for that play.
Backed up now, here's second and long. Looking to throw, it's Murphy. Caught over the middle, it's Williams. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
Got like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, first and 10. Wants to throw on first down. Grabbed in the middle, it's Williams. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play. It's amazing how fluid and potent an offense can seem when you get a great pickup on first down, and the tight end's a terrific place to go.
Tight ends nowadays are kind of like cheat codes. I mean, they just know so much about right here. Seeing zone, know when to sit it down, boom, positive yards, nice positive play for this offense.
This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. The power of Autzen Stadium on full display. The house of loud is deafening on this third down.
Third and one, everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job by the offensive line.
Well, a really good push by his center on that last play, making it easy for his quarterback to just tuck the football, belly it, get low, and drive your legs.
And the Beavers have this offense rolling. Wants to go up top on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Williams. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on second down.
Got him downfield. He's finally stopped and brought down at the 15. It's great to send that blitz and get the heat on the quarterback, but you might need a little help on the backside with this guy.
Yeah, because now you're putting your guy in man-to-man situation against an elite receiver, and that's a tough battle to win, but you got to take those chances. You got to be aggressive. The offense won that one. At least it wasn't a huge game-changing play.
He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
To the air, it's Murphy. He's got it on the move. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike.
My old coach said to never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Now the play fake. Unleashes to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Oregon State! And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They march 72 yards, and they close the deal with the 7-yarder for the score. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll bring it out. It's Whittington. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Looking to throw on first down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Hughes. He gets across the 25, steered out of bounds at the 26.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that a play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If he could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
The give to the running back from the shotgun. Oh, he's got some space. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
The Ducks come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He'll pull it on the read. And he has a solid gain on the play before sliding.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
Makes the grab on 3rd. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the first down at the 34-yard line. You can work your way down the field with these wide receiver screens, but also look for the opportunity to turn them into chunk plays later.
No doubt, you throw it quickly. You get it to him now. DB comes up, has to make a tackle. Now you fake it maybe a little bit later on. So these plays, they're not huge plays all the time, but they can set up big plays down the road for your offense.
They finally get him on the ground, and this junior turning in a big play after the catch. How about the mix of play calls on this drive? 3 runs, 3 passes, and now they're in business.
And just keeping the defense completely off balance. When you think it's a run, it's a pass. When you think it's a pass, it's a run. Nice job by this offense, going right down the field in 6 plays, and now set up for 1st and goal.
With the run on 1st and goal. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Caught in the backfield, it's Moore. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play, in prime position for a score.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You got to be aggressive, and you got to make tackles.
It's 3rd and goal and 3rd and long. Moore to the air. Under fire.
quick decision-making by the quarterback. It's not just who's the open guy and who am I throwing it to. It's also having that clock, David, in your head that says, if no one's open and I'm down near the red zone, I'm taking off now, and I'm using my athleticism, and I'm getting a score.
Yeah, you love the decision-making. I hate the defense. Why are we dropping back so far in the end zone? We got to keep eyes on this QB. We know he can take off. We know he can make plays. The field shrinks, man. You got to expect that's coming. Not very good defense.
Looking for the tie with the extra point. And the extra point was made without incident, and we're tied up here in the third. So a scoring drive there of 83 yards, and he found his way to the end zone from the 7 to cap it. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He only needs a sliver of daylight. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. To the ground with the back. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line.
All right, they've shown this formation a lot of times, especially in the first half. Now what do? They show the formation, pull some guys and run a counter backside. Beautiful play design. Way to adjust in the second half.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Turns it on at midfield. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just a great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some more.
Dropping back, it's Murphy. Here's the pressure. And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield. And there is little more difficult to defend than pressure right up the middle, and the big nose tackle brings it there.
And he starts right on the football. A lot of time he gets double teamed, right? Because he's right there, and you got the guards next to him, but the big fella just uses his power, overpowers the line, gets to the quarterback, and gets the sack.
The Beavers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. What a ride. It's been through the first 3 quarters of this game. We are all tied up. Let's check out some stats. These two teams about to find out what they're made of as we open the 4th all tied up. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. The give to the back. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. These fans stepping up to help this defense on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Makes the grab. It's Walker. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. So on 4th down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. And after the field goal, guys, they are back on top.
And I think I like the call, man. You got an opportunity to take the lead in the 4th quarter, go for the kick. He executes it perfectly. Defense, now it's your turn. We got the lead. We got to get a stop.
So after the made field goal, they'll kick it away and rely on their defense. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire. Makes the grab almost to the first down marker, but a good pickup on that one.
Great job by the quarterback there. He saw the safety bite on the run fake. So as the safety comes running downhill, he now knows he has the slant throw to his receiver on the outside.
The Ducks with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Trying play action. Fires to the big fella. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Moore will throw. Makes the grab.
It's so nice as a quarterback when you've got a guy like that working for you in the slot. He has such a good feel to find the open spaces in the defense. Just makes life so much easier for his quarterback.
And the Ducks in a good spot here with 2nd and short. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
And that's a good 2nd down run. Commit to the running game, run the football. Great game, great job by the offensive line. Keep it rolling.
We thought we might see some of this. He'll go to the Wildcat formation here. On the snap, it's Bryant. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
On the play. Brings up 2nd down.
So now it's 2nd and long. Back to pass. They'll run the screen. And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time.
And I don't like the play call, guys. Screen pass at this point of the game against the defense, playing big zones, prevent, trying to keep the ball in front. It's just not going to work. You've got to take shots offensively.
A touch out of field goal range. They need to pick up yards quickly on 3rd down. Wide receiver comes in motion. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
And how about the inside linebacker flying through there? You see those guys come up, and you see how fast they can come up and fit the run. But how about blitzing the quarterback, getting to the quarterback, getting the big sack?
The Ducks will try to pin them back with the punt. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. Oregon State has it back, and here comes the Beaver offense. Man, how comforting is it to know that even if your offense stalls out a little, Jesse, that field goal kicker can knock it in from a long way out.
Well, he's one of the best in the country, Reese, no doubt. But this offense would like him and prefer for him to kick an extra point on this drive. And to do that, David, they've got to have more rhythm on offense.
Yeah, create some more rhythm, create some more explosive plays, and maybe some more balance. And listen, it's nice to have that weapon and kick long field goals. You kick too many field goals, you don't get very many W's.
Here comes the heat. It's complete on the right side. He's really close to that 1st down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
Man, you put those slot receivers in there, and here's why you do it. You back them off the football a lot of times, but who's guarding them? A lot of times those are linebackers. Those are safeties. You get those good matchups where you can feature one of your speedsters, and a lot of times good things happen.
Muscling ahead on 3rd and short. Still on his feet at the 40. He's got 1st down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49.
Well, they came into this game today knowing that this guy was going to have to leave his mark in this one, toting the rock, and he's done that. He's come up with some big plays, and he continues to do that here late at a juncture where they've got to continue running it if they're going to win.
The Beavers, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Motion from the wide receiver. They want to run this quarterback. He's going to lose a yard on that one. And the Beavers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
When the offense can run the football and you can feature a guy like this that will get more yards than his block that you can really depend on, hangs on to the football, like it makes offense super easy, especially down the stretch when you want to eat that clock and you want to possess the football. Just nice to have that kind of guy.
Well, jet sweep pass. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Really good job by the defense, seeing it and going and getting it. Nice job understanding the touch pass. It could happen. Those guys go in motion, man. I got to understand, safety's got to see that, start flying down, getting ready to play that. Nice job by the defense being ready for that play.
On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. And he's knocked down.
Well, the defense wasn't expecting that. They had a lot of guys back into coverage. That was second and a lot of yards to go, and they got caught off guard. Not enough guys in the box to control that running back.
How can a stadium this size make so much noise? You can't hear yourself think on third down here in Austin. Got a little space. Moving deeper into enemy territory. Move the chains. It's first down at the 27. Timeout called there by the defense. Desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. The Beavers getting set on first and 10. Quarterback on the keeper. Breaks into the open. And a nice pickup on the run and gets down to avoid contact. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. The Beavers back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. The give out of the gun. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Got some work to do after that last play, second and 13. They're looking to get the edge with this one on the toss. Wrestled down at that 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
This offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time off the clock. They got the lead late. Didn't get the first down on that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again here.
We'll head to the 2-minute timeout. Tight ball game here, and this offense will try to milk the clock. They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. Here's the handoff. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
And this guy really has been a workhorse today. He's made plays when his offense has needed them the most. He's a guy who's reliable. They know they can turn around, give him the football, and he'll go make things work out. And they're going to need him to finish this game. He has to continue playing well after that big run there.
Quarterback takes a knee.
And this situation here on second down is the exact situation this offense wanted to stay out of. You got the lead late in the ball game. You want to get positive yards, keep that clock ticking. Now in a situation, it's interesting. Do they want to throw the football? How much do they trust their quarterback not to make a mistake here late in the football game with the lead?
Try to barge their way in. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Hey, he got nowhere, but now it's decision time. It's third down. Listen, if I go get this first down, there's a good chance this ball game's over. The clock's going to run out. So how aggressive do I want to be on this third down?
Well, I want to be aggressive if I'm on defense. You could tell in these last couple of plays, they've been selling out, putting a lot of bodies closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating the offense, trying to run the football, and trying to bleed the clock. Now, I'd get after this quarterback. I'd be anticipating throw here. Just send the blitz and really dictate to them to give yourself an opportunity to win.
Guys, this is the type of signature win that can set the tone for the future of a program.
And this is the crazy thing about college football with 18 to 22-year-olds. On any given day, anything can happen. And, David, you got to give this team so much credit. They played with their hair on fire and got a tremendous win.
And to keep the belief, to understand, I've got a chance to come in and win this game and not just give us lip service. They told us this could happen throughout the week, but they believed. Even when it got a little difficult, got a little up in the air, they kept fighting, they kept believing, and they get the huge win.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.